at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
All right, welcome in, everybody. How is your Tuesday so far? Welcome in. As always, we are brought to you by Lasher Home Comfort Systems. To get started here on a Tuesday, we are inside the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios. Parker Thune, what's happening? How you doing? How's your Tuesday?
It's been a busy Tuesday for me so far, Steely. I ran a bunch of errands this morning.
Really?
I feel very productive. Yes, just came straight from Lowe's, as a matter of fact.
How about that? Wow. Home improvement project?
Vaguely, yes. Is it home improvement if it's outside the home? Because what I'm mostly concerned with right now is making sure I've got probably about half my lot that's just natural grass and brush and a whole bunch of messiness.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to prepare to get that cleared out over the next few weeks. So we can have a nice, big, expansive, lush lawn.
There you go. Well, that's part of being a homeowner right there. So there you go. I got to tell you, I'm a little bit depressed today. I don't want to be depressed on the radio because I don't like the T-Row in the morning show being affected. It's become a habit for me. And what do old people not like? Their habits being broken. And coming in July, I'm sure they'll hire a fine duo, maybe a trio. Who knows? I don't have any insight there yet. But I'm very depressed. I haven't even congratulated T-Row yet. I'm going to, but I'm very angry. I'm very angry. Actually, I'm very happy for Toby. He deserves everything. And but that's a really good show. It's a really good show. And because of my history doing morning radio, I try and sleep in, weekdays if I can set the alarm at 5:30 because I want to start getting up, doing prep, doing mainly stats. And then when I get here, I work on audio for the most part. But I've always got their show on, and I'm highly entertained by it. And when I was doing morning radio, I never got a chance to listen to their show. I knew of them both. Obviously, I've known Toby and TJ for a long time, and I knew they were good. But I really like that show. I like the format. They have a great chemistry, all of that. So I was very depressed. Happy for both of them, but also depressed at the same time. Because it'll be a break in the routine.
It's going to be a lot different.
It is going to be different. It is going to be a lot different. And
I think, that amidst it all, you find solace in the fact that we're still going to have TJ around. TJ's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And we're still going to see Toby's face, obviously.
Yes.
Not like we're losing these guys. We are
true.
losing their show, and that will be an unfortunate day in June, I believe Toby said, whenever they host their final show together. But we still get TJ. We still get Toby. It'll just be a little bit different moving forward.
It will be. And when I had talked to Casey about coming here, because I always told people, even at the other station, when they would kind of say, the ref is not a factor at all, well, I'm like, well, that's because of the signal, because the lineup is really good. They've got a good lineup. There's some arrogance there. You know what I'm saying? But I always liked the guys here. And got a lot of respect for, what I like about this place is there's not an ego walking around that's bigger than the rest. That happens at a lot of radio stations, Look, you guys can say, is it Jim you're talking? Jim's a friend of mine. I like Jim. So, no, I never had an issue with him. But I'm just saying sometimes there are people who aren't team players. It's about them first and the station second. And those people, I was like, I don't know about that, dude. I get along with everybody, I think. But here it has been everybody's about the team. That's no BS. Everybody is about just trying to make the station better and do a good job. And most of the people here, well, all of them that I've been around, they want to do a good job and they care about the product and they care about the station, which is the way it should be. We don't have any attention-seeking clowns here, None of those. And it's interesting when Casey had talked to me about, that they might have an opening here. I said, well, first of all, I don't want anybody to lose their job because of me. I can't live with that. Can't do it. So, no, a decision's already been made. So I'm like, well, if that's the case, okay, I'd be interested. And when she told me, this is going to sound bad, Parker, but remember, I'm not a guy who lives on Twitter or any of that stuff, right? I'll tweet some, but I don't live on it. Said, well, you're going to be working with Parker Thune. Do you know Parker? I said, I do not know Parker.
The genesis of all of it.
Don't get mad, but, I'm just not a guy who lives on
No, I don't blame
Twitter
you.
all the time.
There were very few people who did know who I was at that point, to be fair.
But what she told me was this. Toby is familiar with him. You had a class, I guess, with Toby, right?
Yeah, I took Toby's play-by-play class when I was in undergrad at OU.
And she said, T-Rose said, this kid's really good. He's going to be a star. And that's all I needed to know. That was it. Got Toby's endorsement. That's all I needed to know. I said, all right, well, let's do it. So anyway, the rest is history. Been some great execution. But I've been very depressed just thinking about, man, what am I going to do? They've interrupted my routine again. They've interrupted my routine with YouTube, and I don't have my old tools in the tool shed with a lack of copyright music, but you just try and do the best you can. I'm an old dinosaur trying not to go extinct. You know what I mean?
An analog man in a digital world.
Somewhat. I am in the digital world. I just am not in the attention-seeking clown world. That's the one. That gives us the shysters and hucksters. We did find out what the huckster was, and it is somebody who's a huckster.
It's a very circular definition.
It is, absolutely.
But yes, shysters and hucksters are everywhere. I'm very fortunate, very glad that we don't work with any of them here at the Ref. All stand-up human beings.
That's true. But anyway, congrats to those guys. The main thing is, they're doing what they need to do in this stage of their lives, and maybe they have other goals. They're going to be around here associated with the Ref, not like they're completely going away. TJ, I remember listening to TJ for the first time, and he was I was driving around and flipped over here a long time ago, and I thought, this guy's pretty funny, man. He's pretty damn good. And he's, they have a really good chemistry. And that is not automatic in radio. Sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. So, anyway.
You think we'll make it 21 years together?
No, because I'll be done within 2. I mean, if I was, 40 years old, yeah, we could probably do that. But I'm at the
You're not going to work till 80?
No, and I told you what my goal is because of Shay's situation, to try and get out a little earlier. I think we're going to be fortunate enough to be able to do that, hopefully, fingers crossed. And it wouldn't be because I don't love doing radio still. I do, but, like I said, I'm just hoping my wife's going to be all right and be mobile. And, when you've got MS, you never know. I think she's going to be okay. But I would say maybe 2 more years for me would be it. But we'll see. Who knows? But everybody will miss those guys in the morning because they do a great job. And Toby will be a great sports director, and TJ's going to run the show here. So I wouldn't let TJ go, though. If he said, yeah, I'm leaving too, I would say, no, you're staying. You're staying, dude. You're not going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere, man. You're not going anywhere.
It's crazy, though. Imagine being News 9. You're basically the Pittsburgh Steelers of sports coverage on the Oklahoma media scene. Because, look, we all have our fun with Dean. I've had my fun with Dean. Dean's undeniably a legend in this market. Yeah. And now you get to replace a legend with a legend. Dean Blevins to Toby Rowland, that's as clean a handoff as you can ask for.
Well, and with Dean gave me a lot of breaks in my career. And Norman High legend, and I know his tweets at times were very choppy and maybe poorly worded, but that's Dean, So I used to kind of get mad. I was wanting to jump in there. This dude was like 3 times All-State. He's been Sportscaster of the Year 8 times. What have you done? And then I thought, no, don't hit send. But it becomes, a sport for people to come after people. I get it, but I love Dean. Congrats to him. He's had a great career. He'll be playing a lot of golf, I'm sure, out at Oak Tree. The Blevins family, his brother Bill was my 7th grade basketball coach and PE teacher. When I was I was the Larry Bird of Irving Middle School back in the day. But, and Bill was a great guy, the Reverend Dexter, good family, and congrats to Dean on a really good career. Been around a long time. So best to T-Row, and I'm glad he's going to be doing some stuff here with us. Toby's rise through the media ranks has been very impressive, and it's because he's a pro, he's a really good dude, and he's just a professional. He's really good at what he does, but I'm going to miss that show a lot. Has Uncle put in his application yet? I'm not sure where Uncle is right now. I'm really not. But
he tends to go AWOL in the offseason.
He does. He goes to meditate. Does he do? What did Aaron Rodgers do? The ayahuasca?
The ayahuasca retreats.
Maybe he's over in Peru or something right now.
Somehow I doubt it.
All right.
If Uncle does ayahuasca, he never comes back from those retreats any less crotchety than he was when he left.
That's true. All right, here's our question on YouTube today. How many wins next season would give you confidence in BB's future as the Sooners head coach? Option 1, 10 plus. Option 2, 8 to 9. Option 3, any winning record with that schedule. And you can find us on YouTube. Just search KREF Sports, and you'll find us on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you in the YouTube chat as well, plus the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, 405-651-3439. Okay, one thing I want to get off my chest because I was laughing at this coming into work. I love it when Plank gets on a rant because, you know, I do the old man rants, and they're 80% accurate, 20% bit. But, you know, you get a little bit older as you get angry, or you get a little bit angrier as you get older. It's just a fact of life. But Plank this morning, I love it when he's talking about when somebody gets him angry, like with a tweet or a text during a broadcast. And this was the one this morning where Plank, he always starts out with, the broadcast was going great, and then boom, fill in the blank. And this was the one this morning, again, that proves that society is circling the drain. Here it was this morning.
I was feeling really good about the broadcast yesterday, Toby. Then something happened that I felt really good about it. Thank you for your kind words. It made my day. But I think we're going to have to end the shout-outs because I think I've just got to stay off Twitter because we have an Isabella, we have an Abigail, and we have a Sydney, okay? And they all go by Bella, Abby, and Sid. Late in that game, Bella Smith comes in, and somebody sends me a tweet that says, and I quote, with the link to the roster, the Soonersports.com roster, that says her name is Isabella. And I'm going to tell you right now, I can
you
take
got
a
triggered?
little bit of everything. I've never been madder at anyone in my life because here's the deal.
Yeah.
You can think that I suck on play-by-play. You can think I'm obnoxious. That's fine. I can handle that. But to think that the dude that's been with them for going on, 9 years now, that has been on every trip, is that incompetent, is a level of disbelief in me that I don't think I can stand, Toby. I don't think I can stand it. Oh,
I'm
gosh.
sorry.
It was enraging.
This is the stuff, again, that I just can't see. The audacity, look up the definition. The audacity to think, you know what? I think the play-by-play guy who's been there forever and is a real professional needs me to tell him how to properly pronounce the name. So I think I'm going to text him right now or tweet at him and let him know he's wrong and I'm right. Again, the lack of self-awareness in that situation. Can you imagine, like back in the day, if I thought John Brooks was saying a name wrong and this was around? The chances of me texting or tweeting him something like that would be what Dean Wormer said about Blutarski's grade point average, 0.0.
And it's so funny because, it's happened on a few occasions over the years, specifically in football, where Toby will pronounce a player's name differently than I've been saying it for however long. And my immediate thought is, it's never, Toby screwed that up. My immediate thought is always, oh, I must have been saying it wrong this whole time.
Yeah.
Toby's as authoritative as it gets. He's the voice of the Sooners.
Yeah.
So if Chris Plank says a name, if he if he pronounces one of the softball players' names a certain way or he shortens their names a certain way, generally you yield to those folks because they typically know more than you do. It's their job to.
You don't think that Plank probably went to somebody and before the season started to make sure he gets every pronunciation right? Would you rather go by, so you want to go by Isabella? Maybe she said, well, you know what, I want to go by. You don't think that stuff happens for a professional broadcaster? Again, the lack of self-awareness. You know what, I know better than this guy. I'll text and let the play-by-play guy know he's wrong. No, you're wrong. You need to look in the mirror and say, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? To think that I know more than the play-by-play guy does. Could you make a mistake every now and then? Sure. But that's the kind of stuff that I'm just like, when did we get this way in society? We live in a civilized society. Okay. Well, no, we really don't anymore, actually. All right. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, and on the YouTube chat.
Here's a great text to wrap us up here and wrap up this discussion. It's from a listener in California who says, the better a broadcast does at their job is the easier they make it look, which makes everyone think they can do it, which means the quality of your broadcasting abilities is in direct proportion to the idiots you hear from. I'm not kidding. Seriously. The great ones like Plank make it look easy and make morons think they can do their jobs too. Nope.
Yeah, I try and be, if somebody texts me during a show, like during a commercial break, okay, you can do that or whatever. But sometimes I just go, hey, man, you know, I'm in the office right now. Maybe at a break. I've got 4 minutes then, but please do not text me. I'm at work right now. You know what I'm saying? But this is the society that these young whippersnappers, unlike, but not you included, have created, or just some people who are completely clueless. So there you go. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, and the YouTube chat. You know what? Let's get that cooking today, man. Why don't we? Maybe not. But, Jody, I see you. Sounds like Steely in the morning is a natural transition. I cannot do the mornings anymore, Jody. I'll just tell you. Number one, I got to make sure Shay's good every morning before I leave. You know, that she has what she needs and she's doing all right. So I cannot do the mornings anymore. I'm still up like I'm doing a morning show about 4:30 every 4:45 every morning, but I got to make sure she's good. That's the number one job for me right now over everything else. Okay, let's break. Come back. We'll hit the text line. And why don't we talk a little recruiting as well? Is Muleshoe really going to tear it up recruiting-wise? That's going to make me very angry. Very angry if that happens. So far, it looks good, but we've seen this before with USC, right? Will it hold this time? We'll talk about that and get some of your texts in as well. Keep it right here on the Home of Sooner Fans.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Your dream home is right around the corner, and at Stride Bank, we're here to make it a reality. With competitive rates, personalized service, and streamlined processes, buying your first home or your forever home has never been easier. Let Stride's experienced mortgage team guide you every step of the way, from pre-qualification to closing. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The 2025 home season finale for the Oklahoma gymnastics team is Friday, March 7th at 7:15 against the Michigan Wolverines. The senior class has won championships. They've broken records, and we need you at the LNC wearing crimson to celebrate Jordan, Audrey, Danae, and Danielle and all of their accomplishments. Tickets are available at Soonersports.com/tickets, and we'll see you at the LNC on March 7th. Boomer Sooner.
It's time for your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO 5 First Alert Weather. Brought to you by Cavens Group. Do you have a water emergency? Give Cavens a call at 405-573-3048.
This is meteorologist Sabrina Bates with your first alert forecast from KOCO. Another beautiful February day across Oklahoma. Temperatures this afternoon in the metro climbing into the mid-70s. A lot of sunshine, still light winds out of the south at around 10 miles an hour. By your Wednesday morning, we're waking up the temperatures in the mid-40s, and with a cold front moving across the state, highs on your Wednesday only in the upper 50s. We'll rebound with those temperatures back into the 70s by the end of the week.
That was your certified most accurate forecast from KOCO5 First Alert Weather, brought to you by Cavens. Did you have a water emergency that you fear might turn into mold? Give Cavens Group a call at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com today. The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and is once again your home for chaos. Every game-changing hit.
Long fly ball to left. Track. Whoa. Gone.
Every strikeout.
Got him. Swinging.
Every defensive gem.
He caught it. He caught it.
Every game. All year. The Ref has you covered.
Catch Sooner baseball against the Texas Southern Tigers this Tuesday and Wednesday at 4 p.m. with pregame at 3:30 right here on the Ref and the K-Ref app.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Get ready to unleash your inner fury at the Norman Sports Commission's Fun Run. Join us on Saturday, March 1st with a race right through Norman. You can pick your distance too, a half marathon, 5K, or a 1-mile fun run, each with an unforgettable run through the iconic OU football stadium. You can sign up for the Fury Run at thefuryrun.com. That's thefuryrun.com and be part of the action.
Basketball season's here, and there's no better place to watch the Sooners than at Coach's Corner in Norman. Catch every thrilling play on tons of TVs, plus enjoy the coldest beer in town. But wait, Coach's Corner isn't just for game days. Join us Tuesday nights for bingo, Wednesday nights for Singo, and don't miss Thirsty Thursdays with unbeatable drink specials. With Soul Food Sundays, the best atmosphere for OU basketball, and events all week long, Coach's Corner is your go-to spot at the intersection of Lindsay and Berry, where every day is game day.
Steelman and Thune Tuesday edition here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Radio Network. Our poll question on YouTube today: how many wins next season would give you confidence in BB's future as the Sooners head football coach? 10 plus is an option. 8 or 9 or any winning record with that schedule is your third option. So anyway, how we doing? Everybody good? Like I said, I'm a little bit depressed because the T-Row in the Morning Show is going away. And Big Dog from Tulsa, let's check out what he is tuning in a little bit late. Can you give me an update on Toby's announcement? All right, so the announcement was Dean is retiring. It'll be official in July. Best of luck, Dino. Toby will be a great sports director. They've had a great tradition there, you know, big-time sports directors from, I go all the way back to John Snyder back in the day. Bill Teagans, who was beloved by everybody. Dean, obviously, after Bill and the plane crash, the Oklahoma State plane crash, one of the worst days in history. And T-Row following in their footsteps, which would be a great deal. He'll do a fantastic job. And he's going to continue to do Sooner play-by-play for all three sports for the foreseeable future. I think he said baseball might be a question mark maybe after this year. He's doing this baseball season. He'd have to look to see if he could do all three, but he's going to keep doing Sooner play-by-play, the Rudy Show, all of that. He'll also do a segment here on the Ref, but starting in July, the T-Row in the Morning Show will not be here anymore. TJ's not going anywhere. He's going to be the program director. He'll have to come on some. I mean, that's a good guy to bring out of the bullpen. If he's going to come out of the bullpen, he can still throw some heat. So that's like the situation.
It's like the lefty that you bring in to face a batter or two.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Just matchup nightmare every time.
I would compare him to the mad Hungarian Al Rabowski.
Really?
Rabowski back in the day. Yes, who used to fire himself up behind the mound, pound his fist in his glove, and shimmer and shake, and then turn around and go back, toe the rubber, and strike somebody out. The mad Hungarian Al Rabowski. But I don't know. I was talking to Blake in here about Plank. What I love about Plank is the guy's a super pro, great at what he does. But if somebody strikes the wrong nerve, he can go instantly insane, which is great. I would be in the production room some days, and Plank a lot of times will leave the door open in the studio. And I would hear, "Oh, yeah! Band, pal, band!" You know, and it would just be flying down the hallways. It was so great. So every now and then when Plank blows a fuse, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, 405-651-3439. So, okay, recruiting right now for the Sooners. Champ U Barbecue, is it shaping up to be an unbelievable barbecue? Mighty good barbecue?
It's shaping up that way. I mean, we're still 4 months out from the barbecue.
But the list looks pretty good right now.
The list as of right now, pretty stellar. Lots of big-time talent going to be in town June 20th through the 22nd at OU's Champ U Barbecue. And ideally, some of those guys that are scheduled for visits are going to be committed by then. They'll arrive at the decision long before they take their official visit that Oklahoma's where I want to be, and then the visit will just be a formality and a chance for them to help recruit their peers that are still uncommitted. But, yeah, Oklahoma's going to have 2 big official visit weekends, June 6th through the 8th and June 20th through the 22nd. Thus far, the Sooners have succeeded in getting every single one of their OV targets locked into one of those 2 dates.
There you go. There you go. So at this stage, how does this list for the Champ U Barbecue, which has always been huge, how does it compare with other lists at this stage?
I mean, historically, the lists for the Champ U Barbecue in late February have consisted of like 3, 4, maybe 5 guys.
Yeah.
So guys are starting to book official visits earlier. That's just part of the natural evolution of the recruiting realm right now. But the list is much bigger at this point than it has been at this same juncture in pretty much any previous year that I can recall.
Yeah. All right. NSC, what's going on at SC? Did they get some more NIL money? What's happening there?
Oh, they're winning the offseason, Steely.
You know
they're
what?
They're winning the offseason, that's for sure.
Muleshoe getting that turned around. That's going to be very difficult.
You don't need to worry about that.
I'm just shallow enough to let
The season will get here inevitably.
I hope you're right, because I don't know if I'll be able to handle it. They might have to take me out of here in a straitjacket one day if that happens. I won't be able to handle it.
They went 7-6 last year.
I know. You think Rob Ryan's a good hire? He's a great soundbite. I like the Ryan brothers a lot, man. They produce most of the time.
I like Rob. I think that's a good hire by Lincoln.
I can't stand here talking about, of course, Lincoln, genius. I'm like, no, please, stop.
Mm-hmm. That made me question his sanity a little bit. He might have been on a little gunny weed.
The Ryan brothers come from good stock. Buddy Ryan is the man who had the Eagles, the Bounty Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys. They got Jimmy Johnson so upset because they had all those bounties. Like, who was it? Luis and Dejas. They went after the kicker for the Cowboys. They just brutalized him. Jimmy Johnson was so mad he messed up his hair that day. But Buddy Ryan, man, the 46 defense. They can coach some defense. There's no doubt. All right, 405-651-3439. Gunny on the YouTube chat says, that was an amazing weekend for the Sooners. I thought Steely was going to bust out the U-Run. No, I did bust that out yesterday. That was the water boy, wasn't it? No, you're wrong, Colonel Sanders. Mama's right.
Gunny also asked on the text line, when do I get an audition? Well, I don't know if you could pass a drug test, Gunny. That's the problem.
That could be the problem, Gunny. Now, if Cheech and Chong get a radio station together, then you'll be good. Their first hire. So there you go. Jody says on YouTube, looking at their schedule, it looks like USC should go 9-3 next season. Wish OU could say the same. I hope that doesn't happen. Well, You know, of course they gave OU first 2 years in the SEC the gauntlet. A lot of this has been horrible timing. Some of it's been bad coaching, bad hires, but a lot of this has also been some bad timing and some bad luck for OU as well. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
KW918 says, let's cut to the chase here, boys. How does the retirement of Sweet Meat Dean, the Dream Blevins, and Toby Rowland TV takeover affect OU recruiting?
I don't know. You can answer that one. Are you happy with the way things are going in recruiting right now? I guess, are they still recruiting at a really high level, in your opinion?
Yes, they are. Now, no doubt, the folks would like to see some more commits roll in here before long.
Still at 4. It's been at 4 for a while.
Yeah, there's been a drought. I mean, the most recent commit, I think you got to go back a little over 2 months to Will Conroy in the month of December. Daniel Odom. The Sooners got a commitment from Daniel Odom last month. But outside of that, Will Conroy and Jet New are the only other commits of the last 6 months for Oklahoma. It's been a bit of a dry spell in terms of tangible returns. Now, they're going to start to roll in here over the next few months, but been a bit of a dry spell.
There you go. All right, 405-651-3439. We do have Sooner baseball today at 4 o'clock against Texas Southern. Oklahoma after that great start, having won the Round Rock Classic Championship. And they've got Texas Southern today at Mitchell Park at 4 o'clock, 3:30 pregame on the ref, 4 o'clock game. Also tomorrow with Texas Southern. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Cal State Northridge. What in the wide world of sports happened to the Thunder last night? A 25-point lead. It was 21 with 8.5 minutes left. And they were outscored in the fourth quarter, 41-19. Oklahoma City missed their last 15 threes. And the T-Wolves come back to win. We'll talk to Brandon Rabar about that at 1:20 today. But, man, again, the Thunder is going to walk away with winning the West, but a little bit concerning last night. Now, Hartenstein going out in the third quarter with the facial fracture was not good because Chet wasn't playing, but still, they had a 25-point lead, couldn't close the deal last night. Minnesota wins in overtime. All right, 405-651-3439. What else do we have, Parker?
A 405 listener said, Parker just said don't worry about USC. They went 7-6 last year. Guess he forgot our record last year. No, I did not forget OU's record by any stretch of the imagination. But USC is talking like they're going to make noise in 2025. Talking like they're going to be a contender all of a sudden. I feel like in this sphere, in this realm, in this state, in this region, expectations for Oklahoma heading into 2025 are pretty reasonable and pretty modest. I don't think you can convince that USC fan base right now that there isn't a legitimate sleeping giant dynamic at play in LA with Lincoln Riley and all of the quote-unquote right people in the building.
We'll see. But we certainly don't want that to happen because in my mind, Muleshoe's still a rat bastard. Not a regular bastard, a rat bastard. That's the worst kind of bastard there is. And he always will be. You don't turn your back on Sooner Nation and get away with it. He must pay. Well, after time, the wounds will heal. No, they won't. No chance. Get over it, Steely. It's been 3 years. No, will not. That is a wound that will never heal. Ever. I'm just that petty in that situation.
Jake from Wisconsin has a suggestion. You guys should run a sweepstakes, and the prize should be one full day in studio with you guys, and all the proceeds go to charity. There would be some fun text line people to see.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Do you concur?
Who would win?
I don't know. Gunny could get the police over here if Gunny won, you know. That could be a problem. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to that. Proceeds going to charity. That sounds like a good deal.
I would love it if Doug and Norman won the sweepstakes. We could do 3 hours of sports talk radio with Doug and Norman.
The antagonizer, Doug from Norman.
The Waffler says, I am very excited about all of the USC hype. That way, when they go 6-7, the furnace will be overwhelmingly hot on his stupid little head.
Oh, man. There's nothing like a good grudge. That's probably not good for your health, holding a grudge, but this one, man, I'm clutching onto that grudge as hard as I can.
I don't know. Have there been
I'll
any
never
actual...
let go. It's kind of like the Titanic. I'll never let go. Until Mioshu was gone from coaching. College coaching, anyway.
Think he could make it in talk radio after his coaching career is over?
He would never answer a single question. No.
Oh, it'd be so interesting.
Mioshu would be great in politics because all you do is lie, and take people's money. Either side.
Mioshu on talk radio, that would be very entertaining because he wouldn't have any staunch opinions.
Well, just like the other day when he was asked, what do you like better, Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Exactly.
What did he say? He said both.
He would find a way to hedge on everything.
He would. No doubt. No doubt.
I want him to be the new Max Kellerman. I want him on the same show, on the same airwaves as Stephen A. Smith.
I've forgotten about Max Kellerman. Now I'm seeing Max Kellerman in my mind. Not good. I thought he was gone, but is he out there somewhere? I'm sure
I don't know. He probably went back to like boxing or something.
Doing some shyster activity. Max
Doug
Kellerman.
and Norman says, wait a minute, I've been good lately. I have criticized, I haven't criticized, I think is what he meant to say, any of your inane and stupid homerism.
Look at that. Man, he set us up.
Right on cue.
That was the butter and bus right there. Buttered us up for a minute and then bust us. You backed the bus over somebody. All right, we're going to take a break. 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. That's 405-651-3439. Sooners and the Kentucky Wildcats tomorrow night, 8 o'clock on the SEC Network. The Sooner women will play Thursday night at Florida. Sooner baseball today, 4 o'clock. Texas Southern, 3:30 pregame on the Ref. OU softball this weekend next up against Marshall. They play Marshall in Kansas. 2 games on Friday after they won an extra innings on the Pickering walk-off 3-run homer over Bowling Green 8-5, and then they run-ruled Abilene Christian 9-1 in the other game. So Sooner softball, 2 victories yesterday. One was pretty hard fought, though, which is not a bad thing. All right, coming back. Keep it right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The word is spreading, and the Ref Army is growing. Keep telling your friends and family that there's only one station for true Sooner fans, and that's the Ref Radio Sports Network, and worldwide on the KREF app.
For the professional, it's not enough to just possess knowledge. That's why at GMC, we seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries, while pushing the limits. And we put this knowledge to the test in every GMC Sierra by engineering each one to outperform your expectations. So you know you're getting precision and durability when you need it most. And that's what makes the GMC Sierra the truck worth knowing. We are professional grade. See your Oklahoma GMC dealers.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
What's up, Ref Army? It's Dusty Dvorak, and I'm back. I'm excited to be back with the Ref and cannot wait to help bring the home of Sooner fans the best Sooner coverage. Catch me every Tuesday and Wednesday during the 10 a.m. hour of The Plank Show as I cut it up with Plank and Josh about everything in the world of Sooner and college football. That's every Tuesday and Wednesday on The Plank Show, and there's only one place to hear it. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Download the KRF app today to listen from anywhere.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
There's strength in family and there's strength in partnership. At Armstrong Bank, we believe in building financial stability and enduring relationships. As a family-owned community bank since 1909, we'll always be here to support you because we know that true strength is in our communities. Armstrong Bank. Strength runs in our family. Visit armstrong.bank. Member FDIC.
We tend not to think about right now. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking. By you. Donate at V.org. Because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Medicaid and CHIP offer free or low-cost health coverage for children and teens. Hospital and doctor visits, prescriptions, shots, and more are covered. That's peace of mind for parents if a child is sick or gets injured. And parents may now be eligible for Medicaid too, even if they've applied in the past. Enrollment is always open. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
In the age of internet and all things fast-moving, it's hard to find people you can trust. When it comes to your home or business electrical systems, don't settle for anything but the best. Wade Electric has been serving Oklahoma since 1969 and will gladly address your electrical needs with diligence and professionalism. They specialize in service upgrades, exterior and accent lighting, power automation and controls, shop and outbuilding wiring, LED conversions, and more. Go with a name you can trust and call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940.
Okay, everybody, how we doing? Great execution so far. YouTube, check us out. Search KREF Sports. Our poll question today: how many wins next season would give you confidence in BB's future as the Sooners head coach? 3 choices: 10 plus, 8 or 9, or any winning record with that schedule. All right, college football playoff expansion. Didn't you always think they were going to get to 16, Parker?
Steely just had a coughing fit.
Yes.
He lost the handle there for a second.
Hit the cough button real quick.
I don't know when playoff expansion is going to stop. I feel it's going to be incremental expansion and more incremental expansion because the people in charge, the GCBs as you call them, they're going to realize, there's more and more and more and more money to be made off of this playoff bracket system.
Yeah. Well, and again, you've heard about the latest plan, with Greg Sankey and the Big Ten getting 4 guaranteed bids, and then, hey, ACC Big 12, guess what? We're going to give you 2. You're going to get a guaranteed 2. How's that sound to you? Well, Dusty on the Plank Show this morning talking about that situation. He's not real confident this is going to go through, at least right now, the way they're talking about it, because he doesn't think this is going to go over very well with the folks in the group of 5.
I could see them convincing the Big 12 and the ACC. Again, I don't know how they formally vote. Right. I don't know if this is, if everybody's sitting at a table and, the ayes raise your hand, the nays, I don't know how this goes. But I could easily see, because you still have to convince all the 5, group of 5. So if you're right. Your Mark in the Big 12 and if you're Jim Phillips, this isn't going to pass anyway, right? Right. That, why would the Sun Belt agree to that? Exactly. Now, what are the chances the Sun Belt have a team in anyway? Probably not very good, but
maybe James Madison goes on some unbelievable run this next year. It's Troy, and they find themselves in a situation that Boise State did last year, right? You never know. Why would they agree to penalizing potentially their conference? They wouldn't. It would not surprise me if at least on the surface level, Big 12 and the ACC, agreed that, yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from, SEC and Big 10. Well, we can get down with that because
Sure.
I just don't see the other 5 commissioners of the Group of 5 ever coming around to that. Therefore, really nothing's going to change except, potentially some of that credibility with the SEC and Big 10 commissioners.
And by the way, when the expansion happens, and it's only a matter of time, maybe the way they're structuring it right now, it won't fly. But if we're expanding, you've got to go to 16. You can't go to 14. Everybody's got to play. I didn't like that, last time around. You've got to have 16, which, even if you think that's too much, to me it's better than 14. What do you think? Make any difference to you at all, whether it be 14 or 16?
At this point, no, I don't really care. I've lost the capacity to care. The people in charge are going to do what they can to make the most money out of the college football playoff. So that probably means 16 for now, and then it won't be too much longer before we're talking about expanding this thing again.
Yeah.
My standpoint is always, look, if you're going to do a playoff, if you're going to do a college football playoff, just do a 64-team tournament like in college basketball. Yeah, it'll take longer because you can't play football games on back-to-back days. But if you're going to do the whole expanded tournament thing, just go to 64. Make it fun. To me, Steely, the first year of the 12-team playoff era, knee-jerk reaction, I didn't feel like it was demonstrably better. It was a demonstrably better viewing and participating experience for the average fan.
I think the seedings were wrong, though, right? When you've got Oregon, who has to play Ohio State, their first game out, right? After Ohio State beat Tennessee, you're like, really? That's your reward right there? And Ohio State goes on to win the Natty. Kingdom Coyote, how you doing? Good afternoon to you, by the way, on YouTube. Jody, I agree with what Jody's saying, though. The SEC and the Big Ten have complete control. The Group of 5 will not stop what those two conferences want. The Power 2 conferences can go with their own thing if they don't get their way, and everyone knows. They are the two most powerful crime families right now, right? One's Gambino, one's Bonanno. But, so yeah, I think they have all the power right now. And I agree, Dusty, knows what he's talking about. I'm sure the Group of 5 is not going to like it, but sometimes the bully gets their way, right? They can put the Group of 5 in a headlock. Make him say, Uncle, or stuff up in the locker. Hey, you don't want any part of this? Well, guess what? We'll just go do our own deal. And I think that's going to be one of the things that the SEC and the Big Ten will always have.
Yeah, well, they'll be like Waldo in Little Rascals. The rich kid with Donald Trump as his dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Driving by, shaking his fist, saying, you'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Yeah, it's bullies many times get their way, particularly if the bullies have all the money and control all the money. Then they really have their way. And this is all about money. Remember when we were talking about, these concussions, and we need to be thinking more about player safety, helmet technology, and more time off and all of this stuff. But by the way, if you want to win a Natty, you're going to play 16 games, right? One less than an NFL regular season schedule. In the NFL, win a Super Bowl, you're more than likely going to have to get 20 games in, right? So, all those platitudes sound great, but it's always about the money. How much money can we make? And guess what? The thing you find out about greedy people, even the people who are multi-billionaires, is they still want more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I ever had $1 billion,
I know what you'd be doing with it. You'd be off the grid.
I wouldn't be thinking like, you know what? I need another $1 billion. First of all, I'd be thinking about giving a bunch of that to charity. I wouldn't be thinking about how can we continue to screw people over and get more money out of them. But that's what some of these greedy bastards do, a lot of them. That's never enough. You know, they're in their own little ego battle between Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and Elon and whoever.
I bet if you were a billionaire, Steely, you'd be helping fund the pancake factory down there at Texas.
But I just don't understand that behavior. But
Doug and Norman on the text line says, looking forward to baseball this week. As a graduate of Cal State Northridge, 1973, I look forward to wearing my CSU Northridge sweatshirt. Of course, I'll still wear my OU T-shirt underneath. That's cool.
Are they still the Matadors, Doug? Cal State Northridge?
Can you think of a recent OU athlete, i.e. within the last 5 years, that transferred to OU from Cal State Northridge?
Basketball guy?
Basketball guy.
Oh, man. So this had to be recent.
Yeah.
Somewhat recent. It's not Jadon Jones, right?
No.
By the way, guess we're not going to have him this year on the roster. Give me a hint.
He didn't finish his collegiate career at OU. He wound up transferring again.
Cal State Northridge. Doug answered it.
Elijah Harkless.
Yeah. Cal State Northridge?
Yep.
Really? Where did he
That's
end up
where he came
again?
from. He played his last year at UNLV for Kevin Kruger.
Oh, yeah.
Did
that's
really
right.
well there.
There you go. Yeah.
He averaged like 20 a game.
So there you go. I didn't know that Doug was a California guy. I mean, is he an Oklahoma guy who wound up at Cal State Northridge or what? Yeah, Harkless.
Doug has lived all over
right.
the place.
Well, Doug served his country, so he always gets props for that. There's no doubt about it. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line.
Jake from Wisconsin said they should just adopt the FCS format, and to help out the schools that would have made a regular bowl game should get an NIT. The smaller teams and 6-win teams still get a bowl game.
Maybe. I don't know. But I do know this. The two major crime families will have their way in the end, the SEC and the Big Ten. And I think that Greg Sankey is like Carlo Gambino, the really powerful head of the Gambino crime family before Paul Castellano came along and they shot him at Sparks Steakhouse. It's when John Gotti took over. But who's the Big Ten commissioner now? What's his name? Pettit or something? I don't remember. But he's kind of like the underboss still, I believe.
K-Dub, the 918, says, expanding the playoff is the wrong approach, but what else is new for the NCAA? Needs to be 2 or 3 divisions of championship playoffs based off NIL tiers. Ohio State and Oklahoma shouldn't be competing with UTEP and Colorado State for the same trophy with how wide the gap is now of haves and have-nots. Seriously, what are we doing to this sport?
Good question. That's a good question. And you've kind of heard for a while, you know, I can remember hearing this 10, 15 years ago. Eventually it's going to be one super conference and they'll have their own playoff and the other schools will be in a lower division. And, I've heard like it'll be 48 super conference schools, that'll be competing for the championship. And we may get to that. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, if OU doesn't make the NCAA tournament, should they go to the NIT? And the answer to that is hell no. No. I mean, seriously? No.
They didn't go last year.
Well, not
and
only
they would have been
that,
the number 1 overall seed, right?
Because if they don't make it, I mean, the chances are 90%, right, that Porter's not coming back. So they're going to say, well, you know what?
Yeah, you can coach the NIT before you get on out of here.
You want to coach the NIT before, you leave? Or do you want us, will it be – I don't know. Hopefully the Sooners can get that dub against Kentucky tomorrow night and give themselves, again, a fighting chance. And I don't think this is a great Kentucky team. I think it's a good, solid Kentucky team. There's going to be a lot of Big Blue fans at the LNC coming up tomorrow night. But if the Sooners could get that one, then all of a sudden you're 5-10. You've got even more hope. Ole Miss just dropped out of the top 25 over the weekend. They have to go to Oxford Saturday, but we'll see. I think it's going to be a pretty good crowd, and a lot of those will be Kentucky fans. But I think it'll be a pretty solid crowd in terms of Sooner fans tomorrow night at the LNC.
Just watch Otega Oweh drop the 40-burger.
Yeah. It's possible. We'll see. All right, we're going to take a break right here. Thanks to Lasher Home Comfort Systems for sponsoring hour number 1. 405-579-3113 for Lasher Home Comfort System. Back to YouTube chat and the text line. We got Brandon Rivard talking about the Thunder's collapse last night coming up. Keep it here.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Fall in love with OKC's favorite casino.
Because at Riverwind, we've got it all.
Grab a bite at one of our many restaurants.
Or sip and spin at our high stakes area.
And the Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the hottest spot for live music.
Shoot your shot at our $80,000 Cupid's Quest giveaway.
For the best gaming and unforgettable entertainment.
It's gotta be Riverwind.
OU softball, baseball, and gymnastics offer great opportunities for you to get out for some exciting action and support your Sooners. Going to an OU event or game? Balfour of Norman on Campus Corner invites you to stop by and get some new OU gear. Whether it's a softball jersey with your favorite player or just a new lucky shirt or hat to wear to the game, Balfour has everything you need to be in style and showing your colors. Cheer for the Sooners in the best and newest styles in Sooner sportswear. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour continues to be Sooner fans' favorite OU store and has everything you need. Balfour has the latest styles and fashion trends for men, women, and children. You can find something for every Sooner fan. When it comes to hats, they have you covered with more than 100 styles to choose from. Even OU socks, so you're literally covered from head to toe. Graduation is right around the corner. They have OU diploma frames in stock. Or you can always get a gift card so they can choose the perfect gift for themselves. Come see us on the corner or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
For over 80 years, Primrose Funeral Service has been providing comfort and guidance during difficult times. Pre-planning with Primrose can help make things a little easier for families. Not only can you pre-plan a funeral, but you can pre-plan your sunset cemetery arrangements, which removes the difficulty of planning for a loss at the same time loved ones are experiencing one. Contact Primrose Funeral Service at 405-321-6000 or visit them online at primrosefuneralservice.com.
Did the recent storms damage your home and roof? Call All American Roofing today. All American Roofing has been repairing and replacing roofs for over 40 years and is a second-generation locally owned roofing company. They are also a Google guaranteed contractor and offer free inspections. Our roofers are GAF Master Elite contractors with a BBB A+ rating. Call All American Roofing today at 405-787-0400. All American Roofing, the best roofing company in Oklahoma. 405-787-0400. Ready for some pickleball fun? Join us at the Y-Fac for pickleball every Tuesday from 8 to 11 a.m. and Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Grab your friends and hit the courts for a lively morning or evening game. If water fitness is your pleasure, Aqua Zuma classes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Go online at yfac.com to learn more about day passes and memberships. Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
Hey Sooner sports fans, this is Faith Torres and Danae Fletcher from the 6-time national champions Oklahoma women's gymnastics team. We've had a great start to our first season in the SEC. With only 4 meets, including Florida and Michigan, you won't want to miss any of the action. Get your tickets at Soonersports.com and become a member of Team 10 to support OU Women's Gym and receive unique experiences and special access to the team. Team 10 supports our team above and beyond anything I could have ever dreamed. Go to Soonersports.com and become a member of Team 10 today. Boomer!
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
are back, ladies and gentlemen, for hour number 2, the award-winning second hour of Steelman and Thune. Not sure what award-winning exploits we have, but we can say that. Let's just be a shyster and a huckster. Yeah, that's the award-winning second hour here, presented by High Tower Clinical. Great clinical trial opportunities in the Oklahoma City area. No cost, no insurance needed to participate. Your meds are provided for free. Patients compensated for their time as well. It's a heck of a deal. Located conveniently in various metro area locations. Coming soon to Ardmore. HighTowerClinical.com. You can call or text them for more information at 405-831-5905 today. And every day would be a great day to get out to Riverwind Casino and play one of their nearly 3,000 electronic games on a state-of-the-art gaming floor. They also have all your favorite table games, including 2 table game pits, 2 high-stakes areas, great poker room. They have off-track betting. They have a smoke-free gaming area. The Oasis gaming area now that's big time, upstairs, just right up the escalator. Or if you are at the Riverwind Hotel, right through the breezeway, walking to the casino, you will find the Skyloft gaming area. And get out there today, play with your wild card, try and earn some extra entries. 5 times the entries available today if you get the necessary points on your wild card for the 80K Cupid's Quest drawings on Friday night, final round of those drawings. And we've got a big-time show coming to the Showplace Theater this Friday night. Gladys Knight, Midnight Train to Georgia, Grammy Award-winning artist. So many big hits. I love Midnight Train to Georgia. I still have that on some playlists. It'll be this Friday night in March, 38 Special, Bonnie Raitt in Chicago. By the way, on Amazon Prime, I started watching a documentary on the history of Chicago. They used to be CTA, Chicago Transit Authority. I just got to the part where Terry Kath dies, who was, Jimi Hendrix said, I think it was Dick Cavett who asked Jimi Hendrix one time, how does it feel to be the greatest guitarist in rock and roll? And Hendrix said, I don't know, ask Terry Kath, who was the lead guitarist and many times the vocalist for Chicago back in the day. So Chicago will be there in March at the Showplace Theater. We also have America and Boyz II Men in April. In May, Patti LaBelle, the Randy Rogers Band, and Scotty McCreery. So get your tickets online at riverwind.com. Gladys Knight this Friday nights. Okay, I wanted to play this because the audio was pretty good. So let's just play the clip by itself, the long version, and then we'll explain. Many of you may know what the clip's all about because you live on Twitter/X, but this was Kirby Smart's from the other day.
What do these guys have in common? Speak up. Heisman. It's a good answer. That's actually true. They're definitely quarterbacks. That's the most elementary thing. Heisman, quarterbacks, champions. He ain't champion. Champion of what? Champion of fireball. All right. I'm gonna go here for you. There's Heisman, right? They all had great days versus our defenses.
There you go. So he put a picture up of Bryce Young, Joe Burrow, Johnny Manziel, and Cam Newton. Now, I don't know. I guess this was a Georgia players meeting. I don't think it was like a coaching convention. But anyway, this, of course, was the part about Johnny Manziel.
Champions. He ain't champion. Champion of what? Champion of fireball.
Johnny Manziel was the champion of more than just fireball, but he certainly won a few fireball championships, I'm sure. So, where does he rate among the biggest D-bags in the history of college football?
Oh, he's up there. He's up there. I don't know if he's number 1, but he's up there.
It's hard for me to think of one bigger right now. Look, the Boz had his detractors. Sooner fans loved him, but if you had to play against the Boz, wasn't the most popular guy because he can make plays, run his mouth, and back it up and get in your face. Plus, the ladies loved him, and he had the haircut and all of that stuff. But I don't know. Manziel might be number 1.
He absolutely had, I think in the 21st century, the most spectacular crash and burn career of any athlete. Because, I mean, consider, he won the Heisman Trophy in 2012 out of nowhere as a redshirt freshman. 3 years later, he was done with college, first-round pick in the NFL, out of the NFL.
Yeah.
In the span of 3 years. Nobody knew who he was in August of 2012. And then by December of 2015, his football journey was over.
I got to tell you, I kind of thought, I wasn't saying, yeah, this is 100% not going to work, but the minutes that, it was right after the Cotton Bowl win over OU, right, when he was at WinStar, showing off all the cash. Many of you were probably like me thinking, this guy, that kind of stuff never works long term. Debaggery. And he is, one of the original attention-seeking clowns that needs the spotlight on him all the time.
You tell me you don't pose with your stacks when you win at the casino?
I don't pose. No, I don't. But I don't know. Didn't a lot of you have the feeling like this? What goes around comes around eventually. And for Johnny Manziel, it definitely came around. So anyway. Okay. 1-star Puerto Rican Sooner says, number 1, Manziel. Number 2, Urban Meyer. Number 3, Ryan Day. Doug and Norman says Ryan Leaf was pretty near the top. But here's the deal on Ryan Leaf, Doug. His behavior started when he went to the Chargers, right? Cut it out! Get out of my face! And I don't think at Wazoo he was considered that way, unless I'm not remembering something. But clearly he had a major drug issue. Good for him. He cleaned up his life, but he was breaking into houses to steal drugs and everything. Ryan Leaf. But I think his started, and again, I could be mistaken, when he was with the Chargers. And remember, he went after that reporter. And for a while, there were a lot of people who thought, oh, yeah, Ryan Leaf, better arm than Peyton Manning, going to be a better pro than Peyton Manning. Manning's going to be all right, but Ryan Leaf's going to be the star. That was part of the conversation for a while. Did not work out that way. Okay, 405-651-3439. Somebody said, hey, wait, let me get 2-star Jay real quick. I'm just curious. Hey, Steely, that Jimi Hendrix quote about the best guitarist was allegedly aimed for Roy Clark, I believe. What? I mean, Roy Clark was a great look. He could play the banjo. He was unbelievable. But I've heard the quote was about Terry Kath. So maybe I heard the wrong quote. And if you've seen Terry Kath in action, just YouTube a Terry Kath solo. The guy was unbelievable. Kath for Chicago. And part of this documentary was when the Chicago, they had so many great songs. And then they did If You Leave Me Now, which was like our 8th grade slow dance song back in junior high school. And they called one of the band members called Terry Kath, who was a hardcore rocker, and said, we probably need to go in this direction. This is our best hit ever. And Terry Kath called him a sellout and a effing P word and hung up on him because he didn't want to do that wimpy, sappy stuff. By the way, Chicago will be in concert without Terry Kath unless his ghost comes back March 26th on a Friday night at the Showplace Theater. Okay, 405-651-3439 on the YouTube chat. I believe the SEC requires their schools to go to the NIT if offered. I had never heard. Have you heard that, Parker?
If that's the thing, I didn't realize that.
I didn't either.
It'd be kind of hilarious if Oklahoma was like, no, we don't want to go to the NIT, and the SEC is like, you're going.
Tens of people will be there if the Sooners go to the NIT. That'd be good. But, I guess you have to consider if it could be a moneymaker or not, perhaps. I don't know. Okay, Frat Bro Mark.
He said, Steely, if you leave me now, you freaking old man.
If you leave me now, you take away the biggest part of me. That was like our 8th grade. That and Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton. I think those were our 2 big slow dance songs. back in that time frame. But yeah, I may have to watch some more of this Chicago documentary tonight. It's pretty good.
S. Rob Booman says, what about Deshaun Watson is the biggest D-bag in football?
Well, again, the D-baggery was discovered later, right?
And also, D-baggery isn't the word that I would use for that.
Just
like, that's
plain-
not D-baggery.
Yeah,
That's,
that was creep.
Yeah, D. Watson is a creep.
How about Justin Tucker allegedly being a creep now?
I know, that's crazy.
That dude was going to the Hall of Fame, right?
Probably
As a
still
kicker.
is.
I don't know, man. Unless they play, maybe a radio hood can play live
I would
creep
not,
when he walks up to the stage.
If you,
I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't know. Sorry.
Oh, what's crazy? Isn't Justin Tucker like an opera singer too?
Is he really? He's a Longhorn, I can tell you that. Creepy Longhorn. That is, I mean, again, far from perfect. None of us are. But again, if you think, you know what, I got to go get myself a massage. And while I'm getting that massage, you know what, I'm going to do something creepy. That's a great idea. Something wrong with people.
The world takes all sorts.
Man, who was the, of the creepy people, who was the biggest surprise as a creepy person?
I'm telling you, Justin Tucker is up there. Because Justin Tucker has always just seemed like a very normal dude.
And what,
even like eccentric in a likable way.
And what if this happened like after the Deshaun Watson debacle?
It allegedly happened before.
Before, ladies and gentlemen, before. But it's just Jim Morrison sang one time, people are strange. All right.
Short Circuit Sooner says, the biggest D-bag today is T-Row for what he's doing to my mornings.
He did say, LOL, just kidding. Yeah, I'm very upset with Toby. I congratulate Toby, too, but he's breaking my morning routine in July. And when you break an old person's routine, you take 1 year off their life. So if I was going to get to like 74, T-Row just took me down to 73. Because I will miss that show. Very much. No, congrats, Toby. It's an awesome deal for you. I get it. I totally get it. But that's become my morning routine, doing radio prep, doing stuff I need to do for my stream, and listening to that show every morning.
Nick in Sepulpa says, so now that Toby and TJ are leaving the airwaves, does that mean we're going to get the Jimmy Hailstorm in the morning show? No, I don't believe so.
I am not management. I cannot answer any questions referring to that. I'll just say that.
We're not going anywhere. We're still going to be in the same time slot.
Yeah, I like
we'll
this
be here.
time slot right now. I couldn't do, somebody asked me, you going to mornings? I can't do mornings anymore, all right? Am I up to do a morning show? Yes. I'm up usually every day about 4:30 because of my old morning schedule. I used to get up about 3:15, 3:30. And I try and set my alarm, but my body was so accustomed to that schedule, I never make it to my alarm.
All right, you want to do the morning show?
We can do the morning show. The problem is Shay. I got to make sure Shay's okay in the mornings. Most of the time, she's going to be fine. But with MS, you never know. So there's no way I could leave here and do a morning show and think about, well, I hope Shay wakes up and she's going to be okay and doesn't fall into something. Or you know what I mean? That's number one priority for me right now. So that's why I couldn't do it. Wouldn't feel right. They'll get somebody really good. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry. All right. Chicago equals the Karate Kid theme music. What? Is that right? Oh, Karate Kid. Okay. I thought I was thinking about Cobra Kai, the new series. By the way, which I did finish late last week. One of the cheesiest series of all time, but also fantastic. It was so bad, it was great. So predictable that it was great. And Shay watched a couple episodes like, oh my gosh, like this is so bad. I know it's great though. But Cobra Kai on Netflix, they just came out with the second half of the final season, and it's available now. So just brings back some great memories of Mr. Miyagi, Johnny Lawrence, Cobra Kai, and Miyagi-Do. Sometimes things are so bad and so predictable, but they're still good. And that's one of the series that I would put in that category. All right, break time, 405-651-3439. You guys are doing a great job, as usual, on our Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. And on YouTube as well. You can find us on YouTube. Just search KREF Sports. Poll question, how many wins next season would give you confidence in BV's future as the Sooners head football coach? You have three choices, 10+, 8 or 9, or any winning record would suffice with that schedule. Rob Booman, am I familiar with the series called White Collar? I am not.
I sure am.
Is that the one that you watched?
Yeah, I was telling you about White Collar.
Okay, well,
got to put an excellent show. Excellent show.
We are in a series drought right now. We are in between series, and the ones that we've tried out are not good enough to play in the major leagues. So we're going to have to send them back to, AAA or the instructional league. They're not going to make the roster. So we may try and start that tonight. All right, let's break. Keep it right here. We're coming back on this Tuesday. Steelman and Thune on the home of Sooner fans.
Bleed Crimson? Love great Sooner talk? Join the Ref Army by downloading our free app. Toby and TJ, Plank and Josh, Steelman and Thune, and Teddy and Tyler. We have the Sooner experts. The Ref is home to Sooner fans worldwide.
Hi, this is Jack Kiker with Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, located in Blanchard, America. My grandfather, Larry Knippelmeyer, tells me everybody deserves to save money. So say goodbye to those pushy big-time dealers with all those add-ons like paint protectors, nitrogen tires, and everything else that they could possibly think of. Then come down to Knippelmeyer Chevrolet, just 15 minutes from OKC or Norman. At Knippelmeyer, we will save you money and make sure you get a good buy from a family-owned dealership that has treated customers like family for over 65 years. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Now that open enrollment for health care coverage has ended, there's still several options to consider that just might benefit you. Need to purchase your own health insurance? Confused about Medicare? Considering offering benefits to your employees? Call the agents at Allison Insurance, featuring 70-plus years of combined insurance business experience. They're able to help clients avoid mistakes when purchasing individual or group health insurance. Call Allison Insurance at 800-580-5587 or 745-2968. They are the experts.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland & Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68 team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68 team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings off of 19th Street and more from noon to 7. The Ref's 68 team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
Looking for a better way to bank? Join OU Federal Credit Union and experience the difference. If you are tired of hidden fees and impersonal service at your big bank, well, you deserve better, and that's what you'll find at OU Federal Credit Union. They offer competitive rates on loans and savings accounts. Plus, they're a local member-owned institution. Join OU Federal Credit Union today and discover the benefits of being a part of a community that cares. Visit OUFCU.com or stop by the branches today. Member savings insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
Is your team coming to Norman or Noble for an event? Let Chick-fil-A 12th Avenue be your winning meal provider. From box meals and nugget trays to lemonade and tea, 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A can provide your team's pre- or post-game meal. Delivery, pickup, or dine in, 12th Avenue will have you covered. Call us at 405-310-3189 or use the CFA One app and let Chick-fil-A feed your team. Don't forget to ask about the Give Back program for a winning season. Call 405-310-3189 and remember to eat more chicken.
I'm Ben Affleck, and I want to thank you for joining me and supporting Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I joined the Navy to serve my country. While parachuting with my platoon, my parachute didn't open, and I broke my neck.
Thanks to PVA, paralyzed veterans are getting specialized medical care and treatments, the jobs they want, and the accessible vehicles and homes they need.
I just don't think my family would be as happy as they are without the support that I received from Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Learn more at pva.org.
Schumacher Law Group, when experience matters. Tracy Schumacher is a former prosecutor and former district judge. Whether it's a probate challenge, criminal charges, or contentious divorce proceedings, experience matters. The attorneys at Schumacher Law Group provide compassionate, knowledgeable advice, all while fighting for your best interests. Find Schumacher Law Group online at lawgroupok.com or call 405-701-1882. Hometown lawyers ready to fight for you when experience matters.
Welcome back. Let's talk a little Oklahoma City Thunder basketball real quick with our Thunder insider, Brandon Rabar from DailyThunder.com. Last night, the Thunder had the audacity to blow a 25-point lead. They were up 21 with 8.5 minutes left in the game, but they were outscored in the fourth quarter 41-19 and 10-7 in overtime, and they lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves 131-128 in overtime. It was the first time I've really seen the Thunder fan base really flip out on Twitter in a while. Brandon, what happened last night at the Peak? I think Thunder fans are still in shock at how that went down.
It was a shocking game. It was a shocking result. We've seen this Thunder team, when they get up big, they hold on to the leagues. Coming into last night, they were 35-0, went up 19 or more this season, which, first of all, it's kind of nuts to have 35 games where you're leading a game by 19 points or more. But, so this was, to me, it was kind of an anomaly. This just doesn't happen. This team holds on to leads. They don't let them go. Some weird things happen. Chet, it was the second night of a back-to-back. Chet was already resting. Then Isaiah Hartenstein, he only played 16 minutes. The Thunder outscored the Wolves by 13 when Hartenstein was on the floor. He broke his nose, it looks like, or, he got a bloody nose. He left the game. He never came back. I think that affected the game. More than anything, though, Mike, the Thunder just could not buy a bucket in those last, 4 or 5 minutes. They ended up going 0 for, I believe, 13 from 3 over the last 13 three-point shots. Just a weird result, from the game last night.
Yeah, and Hartenstein is so important. There's no doubt that, he's a great passer. And when you go into that zone situation, he's a guy that is a very big part of their offense, distributing the basketball, getting rebounds. So that obviously was big. But I saw some people last night that are kind of freaking out because they're thinking, well, this is a harbinger of things to come in the postseason. If Shea, if they double team and get the ball out of Shea's hands, J-Dub, somebody's got to be, the Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan or whatever. And J-Dub had a rough night down the stretch. He still ended up, what did he score? I think it was 27 last night, but had some problems down the stretch. And as you said, the threes completely dried up, and all of a sudden, you lose the game. But do you think that will be the telling thing to watch for in the postseason, is that when the opposing team can somewhat limit Shea, which limiting Shea might be 25 points, right? But other guys having to make the crucial shots for OKC, maybe the thing that decides whether or not they get to the finals or win the finals.
Yeah, I think so. I think that teams are going to make other guys step up and beat them. We saw last night, like you said, the Wolves started trapping, doubling, triple teaming, doing whatever they could to Shea down the stretch. As soon as he crossed half court, as soon as he crossed half court, they would throw a double team at him and trap him. And we saw it the night before against the Wolves. In the fourth quarter, they did the same thing, but guys hit shots. And oddly enough, in Minnesota, on the road, role players hit all those threes down the stretch. Then last night at home, where typically role players shoot better, they miss all those shots. So it was kind of the same thing. The guys just didn't hit shots last night. This Thunder team, is actually the number one three-point shooting team since January 1st, 2025. They went ice cold last night down the stretch. I do think that, when you have Chet in there, that changes things. He was just resting last night. It was the second night of a back-to-back. He's looked really good coming back. I think having Hartenstein there would change things. But I do believe that teams will make, other guys step up and beat them besides Shea because he's such a weapon.
Yeah, and what do they call it? A facial fracture for Hartenstein. So we'll see what his availability is going to be. They play the Nets in Brooklyn coming up tomorrow night. That was a strange back-to-back, too, when you tip at 8:45 on a Sunday night and then you come back to Oklahoma City and tip at 7 the next night. And you understand that Minnesota actually got back to Oklahoma City, before the Thunder did. So it was really a strange night. But I think the bottom line is people have to look at threes were just, the chances that you're going to miss your last 13. It felt like there was like one more three to be made. Or Shea makes a great drive at Anthony Edwards, who is out of the game until, Minnesota discovered, because Minnesota was kind of waving the white flag, right? So to a certain extent, not totally, but like, this doesn't look good. Let's get Anthony out of here. And then he comes back in and makes the big block. That was the key play of the game. And all of a sudden the Timberwolves get the W. So, but what would you tell some Thunder fans out there? There aren't many of them. But what would you tell those who are panicking, like, oh, no, this is what the postseason could look like? Because I saw a little bit of that last night, people overreacting, including me, of course.
Yeah, I would say that looking at the big picture, this team still is 46-11. They've been the most dominant team in the league this season. They have still a historic net rating, a historic defense. This team, for 3 3/4 of the game last night, looked like by far the better team than the Wolves last night. It was just such a fluky thing. I hate to, chalk it up to shooting variance and the Thunder's bigs being out. But, there was a lot of that. And it was the second night of a back-to-back. It's just a lot of weird things. I would say that this Thunder team, when you look at the sample size now of 2 seasons in a row, that they've been, the number 1 seed in the West last year, the number 1 seed in the West this year. They addressed the issues last year that they had in the playoffs, and they were still 1 play away from a Game 7 against the Mavs, who went to the finals, going to Oklahoma City. So this team has gotten better. Between internal development and adding Hartenstein and adding Alex Caruso. I just look at the bigger sample size, and the bigger sample size is this has been a dominant team. And even against the Wolves, they beat them the night before in Minnesota, and they're now, 2-2 against the Wolves this season. They played a fully healthy Minnesota Wolves it was New Year's Eve and dominated that game as well. So I'm just not too worried. It was only their 11th loss of the season, and it was a game in which they led by 25, and it was just kind of a perfect storm of things that went the other way to lose the game.
Yeah, and, we talked about this, the 40-20 rule for Phil Jackson, who, at one time said, you'll find out if you're a real contender. His standard was you had to win 40 games before you lose 20. And Oklahoma City won 44 games before they lost 10. So that's a pretty impressive number. But as you look ahead to the postseason with some of the changes, after the trade deadline, Luka in L.A. and, the makeup of some of the other teams out there, how would you rank the top problems for Oklahoma City in the West in the postseason 1, 2, 3 in your mind?
Yeah, it's funny because I would still say, Denver number 1 just because they have Jokic, and I do think that their supporting cast is, a little bit underrated, but they still won a championship a couple years ago, and Jokic is a problem. And it's funny because you look through the standings, and I wouldn't have any other of the top teams in the West. I would actually probably go with the Lakers just because, LeBron and Luka, there's just so much talent. Sure, their defense is going to be an issue for them. Their size, not having a true center is going to be an issue for them. But LeBron and Luka are just so talented, and you're still dealing with the Lakers and the Lakers whistle that comes with it. And then I would actually go with the Warriors. which is funny because they're in the play-in right now. But you add Jimmy Butler and his, playoff, what he does in the playoffs, and you add him to Steph Curry and Draymond Green and some role players. And I would actually go to those three teams, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Warriors.
There you go. Our Thunder insider, Brandon Rabar, dailythunder.com. Follow him on Twitter as well. It's Brandon Rabar, R-A-H-B-A-R. Brandon, we appreciate it. Talk again soon. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Have a good one.
Brandon Rabar joining us on the Riverwind Casino Hotline. 405-651-3439. How about this, Parker Thune? Okay, so this came out on ESPN.com. This is from Jeff Borzello.
Okay.
You can find it in the college basketball section.
So I was about to say, if it's Borzello, that means this is college hoops.
Jobs that could open.
Oh, boy.
Under the jobs that could open. This is the comment about Oklahoma. Porter Moser appears primed to get another season in Norman, especially after the Sooners picked up a massive win against Mississippi State over the weekend to boost their NCAA tournament hopes. The Sooners started 13-0, though they struggled recently. Oklahoma has yet to make an NCAA appearance under Moser, though it's also a program perceived to have one of the lowest NIL budgets in the SEC. Moser would reportedly be owed just shy of $8 million. But the key right there is the opening sentence. Porter Moser appears primed to get another season in Norman, especially after the Sooners picked up a massive win against Mississippi State over the weekend to boost their NCAA tournament hopes. What do you think?
I think in about 30 seconds, we're going to have a variety of opinions presenting themselves on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. First off, do you buy that coming from Borzello?
Not at this point, no. But I don't know. Does he have really good sources that are telling him, you know what, unless it just completely craters, he's going to be back? I don't know. Maybe in this NIL era that we're in, owing nearly $8 million to a coach and trying to start over, maybe that's too much. Whether you can pay it out over time or however you structure the deal, a lot of times these buyouts, are short of that is owed. First of all, I hope Porter makes it, right? He's a likable guy. He's working his butt off. But I don't know. That first sentence did surprise me. And what you need to think about there, again, does Borzello really have some great information that leads him to believe that way? Or is he just
wish casting?
Not really in touch with what's happening. So.
I scarce think one win over Mississippi State cemented Porter Moser's fate one way or another heading into next season. I would imagine this is a decision that Joe Castiglione and the OU brass are going to make between themselves once the season ends for Oklahoma, whenever that may be.
Yeah.
The season could be over come the SEC tournament. Maybe there's a world where they sneak into the field, the 68-team field, and they do earn their very first March Madness berth of the Moser era. I think that is enough to save his job. If Oklahoma finds a way to get to the tournament field, I think Moser is safe. But short of that, here's the issue. Here's the reality, Steely. For one thing, let's say, because I think there's a consensus right now amongst the fan base that if you're going to move on from Porter Moser, your call has to be Kellen Sampson. He's somebody that can activate the donor base. He's somebody that can inject life into a dormant program, and he's somebody that can get people excited because he's going to be excited to be back in Norman as the head basketball coach. If you hang on to Porter Moser for another year, does that compromise your chances of perhaps landing Sampson if things don't work out with Moser anyway? And moreover, can you get anybody excited about your product next season, the product that you're going to be putting out there, if they just see it as another cobbled together roster from Moser, the fifth in 5 years at that point, that only vaguely resembles the previous year's roster and probably winds up being the exact same fringe bubble team that they have been 4 years in a row now.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting question. And again, the main thing Thuner fans need to be thinking about is getting out to the LNC tomorrow night's Kentucky Wildcats coming to Norman. First time Kentucky's ever been to the LNC. You think about all the great programs that have been to OU, Duke, Vegas. Carolina's been to Norman, right? Has Carolina been to Norman?
Carolina?
I'm trying to think if Carolina was – they weren't there during my time. But there have been a lot of great programs that have been to the LNC, but Kentucky has not. So this will be a huge opportunity tomorrow night. Look, this is a solid Kentucky team, and it's not a great Kentucky team, you know. It's a winnable game. You need Jeremiah Fears to play like he did the other night with 27 points, 10 assists, and 6 rebounds, and only turning it over, I think, 3 times. He was super efficient as well. But that's the main thing that the Sooners need to be thinking about, getting that W, that big quad one win over Kentucky coming up tomorrow night when the Wildcats visit the Lloyd Noble Center. Okay, break time right here. We will hit the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line when we get back and find out what's happening on our YouTube chat as well. Keep it right here, Tuesday edition of Steelman and Thune, right here on the home of Sooner fans.
The Ref is SEC ready. Are you? Download the KRF app today to get ready for it to just mean more in 2024.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
For 50 years, Moore Norman Technology Center has been our community's trusted source for technical career training in high-demand fields like healthcare and construction trades. On March 4th, voters have an opportunity to decide on a student investment plan aimed at increasing capacity at Moore Norman so all qualified students can train for a life-changing career. Moore Norman Technology Center, preparing students for a future that works. Visit mntc.edu/student investment for details and make plans to vote on March 4th.
5 Iron Golf is now open in Yukon, Oklahoma. Escape the Oklahoma weather and play world-famous courses like Pebble Beach on state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators. Perfect your swing with expert coaching or just kick back with delicious food, craft cocktails, and a lively sports bar vibe. Planning a party, corporate outing, or fun night out? 5 Iron Golf has you covered. Visit 5 Iron Golf to book now and experience the future of indoor golf and entertainment in Yukon.
Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm with the nonprofit Fostering Futures. Every day, children are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. In these critical moments, we step in to support these vulnerable kids. We work alongside child welfare workers to meet the essential needs of safety, stability, and healthy connections, as well as providing enrichment opportunities. But we can't do this important work without your support. Consider donating at fosteringfuturesok.org. Together, we can offer children a brighter future.
When you struggle with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you get used to not feeling 100%. I thought that was how it had to be. Until I discovered the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. They told me about new medications that weren't around back when I was diagnosed. They helped me find a specialist who gave me a new treatment plan. I'm feeling better than I ever thought I could. Don't settle for not feeling your best. Take action today to take care of yourself. Spill your guts. Learn more at spillyourguts.org.
My daughter was diagnosed with a rare malignant rhabdoid tumor on the spine. They sent her straight to St. Jude. My hope was gone. But when you get there, everyone's like, hey, we're not going to give up. And when you see other people not giving up on your child, that makes all the difference in the world. When I found out I didn't have to pay, I was just grateful. They saved my baby's life.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Teachers are dynamic leaders shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures. leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Hey Sooner sports fans, this is Faith Torres and Danae Fletcher from the 6-time national champions Oklahoma women's gymnastics team. We've had a great start to our first season in the SEC. With only 4 meets, including Florida and Michigan, you won't want to miss any of the action. Get your tickets at Soonersports.com and become a member of Team 10 to support OU Women's Gym and receive unique experiences and special access to the team. Team 10 supports our team above and beyond anything I could have ever dreamed. Go to Soonersports.com and become a member of Team 10 today. Boomer!
All right, we are back. 405-651-3439. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Riverwind Casino, get out and play with your wild card today because they have the final round of the big Friday night drawings coming up out at Riverwind Casino this Friday. The 80K Cupid's Quest promotional drawing will be happening. And again, you can win your share of 80K in cash and bonus play. Sounds like a heck of a deal. They also have Gladys Knight in concert at the Showplace Theater. Had some really good crowds for Aaron Lewis and the Stayliners last Friday night. Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen on Saturday night. Big time. If you haven't been to the Showplace Theater, great acoustics. It's a really, really nice place to go see a show. It's awesome. Gladys Knight again coming up on Friday night in March. 38 Special, Bonnie Raitt and Chicago. What a Hall of Fame lineup that is. Then in April, another great pair of shows that are scheduled right now. America and Boys to Men. In May, Patti LaBelle, the Randy Rogers Band, and Scotty McCreery. So always something happening at Riverwind Casino. We'll be out there on Friday, nearly 3,000 electronic games. They have all your favorite table games. They've got an unbelievable poker room, a smoke-free gaming area now on the first floor. Justin and the crew over there, you know what Riverwind's all about. They do things first class. They've got the best concerts, best bars and dining, and the best promotions in the business. Always good times and great rewards at Riverwind Casino. You want to hit the text line, 405-651-3439?
Santa John on the text line says, what has Porter done to have received a contract extension just this last October? Here's the facts. The money isn't there for an $8 million buyout. Let's just move men's basketball over to McCaslin Fieldhouse or just shut down the men's basketball program and spend the money saved on football. I don't know how many times I have to say this. You're not going to save any money by shutting down the basketball program because basketball is a revenue-generating sport, i.e. it makes more money than it costs. Shutting down the men's basketball program is a completely unserious conversation for us to engage in. There's a reason that every single D1 school, Steely, sponsors basketball. It's because it's the easiest sport to make money off. It's the absolute easiest sport to make money off. You have what? Something like 370 Division I basketball programs?
There are a bunch, yeah. Sounds about right.
Every school plays basketball. Find me a college in the country that does not play basketball.
Hillsdale Free Will Baptist College, are they still playing? Is that even what they're called now?
Hillsdale?
Yeah.
In Michigan?
No, this was the one over off I-35. What's the name?
Oh, Randall?
Randall.
Randall plays basketball, yes.
Randall plays basketball?
Randall plays basketball.
Okay.
Again, every college plays basketball.
Yeah. Well, it's there's a lot of frustration.
The fact that at the University of Oklahoma, some of the people on the text line, some of the people on social media, like fans of the program in general, are voting for the program to shut down men's basketball. Like, what are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Yeah, I'll just say that's not going to happen. It's not. Now, they did at one point, there was a conversation about shutting down women's basketball back in the day, and that was met with an uproar.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, that ain't happening. By the way, the poll results are in.
I wonder if there's another fan base in the country that's like this, where you have people – keep in mind, Oklahoma is 4 years removed from their last tournament berth. at this time.
Mm-hmm.
There are hundreds of other collegiate programs that have longer droughts than that. Is there any other fan base in college sports that's advocating for the shutdown of the men's basketball program? And obviously it's not a majority thing. It's a very vocal minority.
Yeah. People are angry. Canham Coyote says, I remember Rose State having a basketball team. When I grew up, I had a neighbor that went there on scholarship to Rose State. What's Rose State's nickname? Anyone know?
The Roses?
Every rose has its thorn.
The Thorns?
Mm-hmm. The Rose. So anyway, all right, here are the poll question today. How many wins next season would give you confidence in BB's future as the Sooners head football coach? Jeez, I'm an idiot.
I tell you, I'd rather have Brent Venables coaching this basketball team than Porter Moser.
That's right. Get Jerry Schmidt over there to coach some rebounding drills, and they'll never be out-rebounded. How many wins next season would give you confidence in BB's future as the Sooners head football coach? 8 to 9 wins with 53% of the votes, followed by 10-plus at 25%. Any winning record with that schedule got 19% among 4.1 million votes cast on the poll today. Close to that, I believe.
Sooner Bump says, Parker, please block these morons. Put them in the Vinnie Paul wasteland, please. Man, I haven't thought about Vinnie Paul in months.
Where's Vinnie Paul?
I don't miss that guy. I think we blocked him.
Oh, we did?
I don't know. I can't recall if I did or if Plank did.
Maybe it was me that got angry.
It also could have been you. I forget.
I think the top two candidates are Plank and myself, and you're probably third. By the way, Sooner Soldier says it's the Rose State Raiders. Just win, baby. Commitment to excellence over there in Midwest City at Rose State.
A Texas listener says, increase NIL for basketball and give Moser another year.
It does look like in this report where it said, again, I think we all have heard that Oklahoma's probably in the bottom three, right? In terms of basketball NIL in the conference.
Yeah, and it doesn't take a Rhodes Scholar to see they went bargain bin shopping this past year in the portal.
Oklahoma is yet to make an NCAA tournament appearance under Mosier, though it's also a program perceived to have one of the lowest NIL budgets in the SEC. Moser would reportedly be owed just shy of $8 million. This in a story about jobs that are open, jobs that could come open in college basketball. That was put out today on the ESPN.com. So, I don't know. Like I said, the whole thing that when it all became about money, it became disappointing. And the genie is not going back in the bottle. Now, again, we could maybe get some relief with the 20, the revenue sharing, but NIL is still going to be NIL. They're going to have valuations of NIL where you can't give these ridiculous deals and, they're going to have to be legit. But still, when they made it all about the money, the future of college athletics, lifespan became shorter, in my opinion. So we'll see. But Oklahoma's trying to get it figured out. All right.
You ready to be disappointed in humanity, Steely?
Sure. I'm already disappointed.
I have no idea whether that's true. This is true or not, but I saw it on Twitter. So if it's on Twitter, it has to be true, right? 82 million American men subscribe to at least one OnlyFans.
Really?
Again, I have no idea whether that's true or not. But I saw it on Twitter.
How many men are there in the United States of America?
Well, let's think. The population's like 330 million, right?
So
you'd have to think
166? Wow. So that's how many did you say?
82 million.
So half is what you're saying.
Half of all men?
That ain't true. The editor who put it out there is garbage. Maybe. But in this society, which is crumbling each and every day, That would still, I think that's, if you said maybe 20%, that wouldn't shock me, but nearly half, that's a little much for me. Plus, remember what every tweet is designed to do. Get you to interact with it. I love the people that have no idea they're interacting with bot farms. Those are the ones that are great. Arguing with a bot who's like, Bill 746-5Z236944273. You know, oh yeah, pal, why don't you come say that to my face? You know, because the bot farms are very real. And all either side is trying to do is BS you enough to keep you believing they're bull. And they're doing it with bots, too.
By the way, Sooner Bump has the story on the Vinnie Paul lore for us.
Okay.
He pissed off Steely, and Tyler blocked him because tapioca pudding Steely didn't know how to. Love you, Steely.
Thank you, Sooner Bump. How did he make me mad? I can't remember. Was I having a bad old man day? Didn't take my Geritol, or what happened?
I do not recall.
Yeah.
I wonder how Ethan Downs' hater is doing these days. I think he was the very first one that we ever blocked on this show.
Well, I mean, if you're just negative to be a...
And that was all he ever texted in about was how much Ethan Downs
He was
sucked.
trying to be a everyday, you know the word, 4 letters.
Mm-hmm.
That's his whole purpose. And I'm like, why are we dealing with this dude?
Yep.
Why? There's no reason to have this guy texting.
And look at where
him.
Ethan Downs is now. He's going to the NFL Combine.
That's right.
Scrubs don't get invited to the NFL Combine.
It's like I tell these people, well, not on Twitter, but the ones who crack me up, like highly successful people who are in the top of their profession, when they block somebody, these attention-seeking clowns say, can you believe how soft this guy is to block me like that? And as I tell them, and I'm right, the reason that person is, the successful person is blocking you is not because they're soft. The reason is that you are a complete loser. And highly successful people don't have time for complete losers. That's why you're blocked, not because he's soft. Why would anybody want to deal with your sorry
Did
ass?
you see this? It was circulating on Twitter last night. There was a Trump impersonator that confronted Alec Baldwin on the street. It was harassing him as he was packing his car. And at one point, Alec Baldwin turned to him and he said something along the lines of, I'll effing break your neck.
Yeah.
I was like, good for you, Alec. Good for you. You shouldn't have to put up with that crap.
These people are so shameless these days, they'll do anything for attention. Anything.
And, of course, everybody on Twitter is like, oh, he cooked Alec Baldwin. Murderer Alec Baldwin. He cooked him.
That's the kind of guy, again, whether you like Alec Baldwin's politics or not, who's been highly successful in his life. You cannot be cooked by a loser, all right? Just like you can't be ratioed by a bunch of uneducated hillbillies. That's not how life works when you live in the real world. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before the old man's head explodes, we need to get out of here. I'd like to thank our fantastic sponsors at Hightower Clinical and want to thank our friends at Riverwind. We'll be out at Riverwind on Friday. Big show, huge show this weekend. Gladys Night. Get your tickets coming up this Friday night. It's going to be really awesome. Get on out there. I don't know how many more shows Gladys Knight's got in her, but you've got a chance to get out and see her, and she is a legend. Get out and see her at the Showplace Theater. What are you smiling at, pal? Did I say something wrong?
No, not at all.
No, you did. Okay. The young whippersnapper is smiling like the old man just screwed up. I'm going to get fired. I did something. All right. I want to thank again Hightower Clinical. Thank you guys, by the way, out there. Appreciate you, and I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Steely, we still have another minute.
Oh, we do have another minute. Wow, I thought it was 55. Old man problems. Okay, Parker, what are you guys going to be talking about on Locked In today besides recruiting in general? What's the lead?
Well, as far as the lead, I don't know if there is a lead today. We'll be talking about a variety of different topics pertinent to OU football and recruiting. Big-time linebacker prospect from the state of Arkansas just locked in an official visit with Oklahoma, so we'll talk about that. We'll look at one of their under-the-radar defensive line targets.
There you go.
Big old defensive tackle that Todd Bates really likes in the 26 class, excuse me. And so we'll dig into the board a little bit. We'll have some fun. We always do.
There you go.
Locked In.
All right, now it's time to get out. So as you heard from Parker Thune, pertinent topics coming up next on Locked In here on the Ref. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Talk to you tomorrow.